We all have such a weird attitude toward pillows because they cost like $10, but we all keep the same disgusting pillows for decades, like it's the Great Depression. Like we're some old prospector like, well, this here's the pillow they gave me at the orphanage, and I'll be goddamned if this ain't the same pillow I die with. Why? Pillows and towels, right? Like, we never get rid of towels. They just eventually become the ones you, like, dry the dog with. Why are we holding on to so many? Do we all think we're gonna have, like, a home birth someday? I'm gonna sop some stuff up. My grandparents' towels are historical artifacts at this point. I don't know if you visited your elders recently. They have washcloths that look like they were woven from wheat. I'm like, did this belong to Jesus? I feel like I'm drying my face with a Triscuit. My eyelids are bleeding.
I'm also lazy. I'm too lazy to be a farmer. I know that. Like, I mean, you say what you want about the farmers. They work. Like, they work. Just look at what they make their kids do. You ever heard a farm kid talk about his chores? When I was a kid, if I said I did my chores, that meant I rolled the garbage cans down the driveway on Tuesday, and my brother did it on Thursday. And if I didn't do my chores, I got grounded. If a farm kid doesn't do his chores, the bank forecloses on the family's farm. The stakes are high over there, man. So yeah, man, I'm lazy. You know, here's how lazy I am. I was at the airport the other day, and my shoe was untied, and I was like, I'm not feeling it. And I passed a shoe shine guy, and he goes, shine him up. I was like, how much to tie him? It was $3 per pair. I mean, only one was untied, but I was like, hey, as long as I'm paying you the $3, like, untie that one and retie it. This is it. We had a deal. And this is how lazy I am. I was on Facebook, and my friend Dort posted, I ran a half marathon. And I posted, congrats. She ran 13 miles, and I was too lazy to write ulations. We're all lazy, though. It's just, we're all lazy. Just walk around your house. Alexa, turn on the lights. Alexa, turn off the lights. Alexa, turn on the stove. You know, it took me 3 weeks to realize, in order for that to work, you have to have Alexa. Like,
I will say, Los Angeles is full of a lot of people that are very interesting. I have 4 younger than me friends who have said to me in the last several years that they were empaths. Not I'm empathetic, not I'm sympathetic, not I'm patient, tolerant, or kind, but I am an empath. Nope. I'm like Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like Deanna Troi from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Like a demon from Buffy. No, you are not an empath. You had a human experience. Someone was crying. You made eye contact. Someone looked up from their phone and you were there. And my buddy, who I love dearly, said to me, no, it's more than that. It's like when someone else's dog dies, I feel it just as badly as they do. And I was like, wow, do you feel the hostility coming off of me? You getting that? Because the word you're looking for is narcissism, and you're killing me. They were all much younger than me. They were all, I'm a Gen X, the whole generational thing, I don't get it, I don't care. They never even named the generations before the boomers. And then that guy wrote the book, The Greatest Generation. They never called themselves that, by the way, just so you know. Nobody has ever said, hey, we're the greatest generation. Follow that. Because that is not how you talk to the next generation. Here's how you talk to the next generation. I'm sorry, we couldn't fix it. Please help. And they were all millennials, and I'm Gen X, and we got guff. Back in the 80s, I got guff. I was told I was a slacker. I was told that I played too many video games. And it turned out I lived. So it's all gonna work out. But I will say this, I have never seen the pile of guff that you people get. Everyone younger than the Gen X, so much guff. So much guff. You've caused everything. You've done everything wrong. My favorite thing you've done wrong, I don't know if you know this, but you don't know how to read maps. Did you hear about that? You don't know how to read them. We used to read maps all the time. They don't know how to read maps. They're always looking at their devices. They don't know how to read maps. They're always looking at their devices. I have this to say. I was there in the 80s. There was some map usage. Not as much as has been reported. We mostly use people. I would call you. I would go, I live here, you live there. How do I get there? I'd write down the directions on a piece of paper. I'd leave that piece of paper on the kitchen table. I'd get into my car and drive as far as I remember. And then I'd pull over and go to a gas station or a grocery store and call you again. Where do you live from here, I'd say. So you were not fighting a pile of Magellans. We don't know how to read the stars either. If I see a tree and it has moss on it, I absolutely never think to myself, ooh, north. I think dirty tree. Dirty. My least favorite of every generation has this banana head. There's always some simpler time person who's like, it was a simpler time. When I was a kid, things were easier. It was a simpler time. It was just a simpler time. Things were easier when I was a kid. It was a simpler time. Yes, you were a child. I pray to God it was a simpler time. Unless you were 11 working in a sock factory in Hong Kong, like a buddy of mine, should have been a simpler time. The other thing happening in Los Angeles is I have a lot of friends who are into ghosts. I don't know anything about ghosts. I don't not believe in ghosts. I just have never met any ghosts. Ghosts are uninterested in me. I have a theory, probably unsubstantiated. Anyway, you have to be interested in ghosts to meet ghosts. I have the same theory about dolphins. I once accidentally swam with dolphins. Have you ever swam with dolphins? Yeah, someone needed a fourth, right? All of my friends were going. They needed a fourth person to bring the money down, so I went and signed up to swim with dolphins, and it turns out I could have lit $300 on fire. Because, I don't know if you've ever, but you're interrupting something. Their lives. You're interrupting their lives. They would like to hang out with other dolphins. Anyway, I will chase a dolphin or a whale. I'll go on a whale watch. I'm there. I will chase it, but I don't want to get involved. We don't need to meet. Have you ever gone to an aquarium where you get to pet a stingray? I did it once, and then I thought to myself, how would I feel if a hand came out of the sky and just started doing this? Nope. But I have a very good friend who knows about ghosts. She's a great comic. You ever get to see her do stand-up? She's a hilarious comic. Her name is Karen Rontowski. She also has a podcast called Paranormal Karen, where she knows things about ghosts. And she really does. She knows a lot of things about ghosts. I don't know anything about ghosts, but she was over at my house one time. And when she was over at my house, she said she thinks I'm afraid of ghosts. I am not. I don't know. So she said to me, you wouldn't want me to open this app in your house. It would tell you if you have any ghosts. And I said, app? Where'd you get the app? And she said, App Store. And I said, please open Ghost Radar in my home. Ghost Radar is just that. It's just a radar. Boop, boop, boop. And so she opened it. Guess what happened? Ghost! Right behind me. Weird. Anyway. So Ghost Radar, there's a ghost there's always a ghost, and then a word pops up, and that word in my house was red. And we had another friend over, and my friend said, I have a red sweater in my car. So what I'm saying is that maybe you see ghosts or meet ghosts or know things if you're looking for it. I have never met a ghost. Whenever anything might have been a ghost, I tend to go water heater. The house is settling. I don't know.
The spider that freaks me out the most, this might surprise you, it's not the tarantula, it's not the black widow, it's the daddy long legs. Yes, right? Ugh. If you don't know what a daddy long legs is, it's like a pencil eraser with a bunch of like spindly coming out of it, you know? Like, like, no. No, that bug's a pig. And someone told me the other day that I told them that I was afraid of daddy long-legged spiders. And she goes, oh, well, actually, a daddy long-legged spider is harmless to human beings because its fangs are not strong enough to pierce human skin. And to that I said, oh, do not talk to me like that. Don't speak to me that way. Its fangs are not strong enough. Like, socialize yourself. Go outside. What are we doing? Take that fang talk with you. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. And if you get nothing out of my set tonight, this is very important. She was wrong. She was very wrong. A daddy longlegs is not harmless to human beings because no animal is harmless to humans if he makes you call him daddy. Ah, yeah, look at daddy's long legs. Oh, God. Kill it. Smush that pervert. We can't have it. Some more personal news, everybody. I got married a couple months ago. Thank you so much. Thank you. Do we see her? Huh? Got married to a human woman. Who's alive and well. In that order. Got married, and my wedding night, best night of my entire life. The morning after, worst morning of my entire life. Baby was hungover. I'm baby. I wake up, turn to my wife, and I go, I feel like a bag of trash. Do you have anything I can take? And she goes, nothing. And I said, nothing! And I realize that voice doesn't scream provider. Doesn't even whisper provider, to be completely honest. So I asked if she had anything, she said nothing, and I go, Baka! So she's supportive. She starts going through her bag, and she pulls out these pills, and she goes, I have Midol. And I said, what is that? It sounds efficient, right? Yeah? Midol, it sounds strong, like for guys. And she told me what it did, and it's for, if you don't know what Midol is, it's what women take when they're experiencing premenstrual, you know, nervous, I just got premenstrual symptoms. And I said, beggars can't be choosers. What are these symptoms? And she's looking at the back of the box and she goes, all right, well, these help with cramps. And my tummy was a disaster. I was like, I have terrible cramps. What else does it do? And she goes, it also helps with bloating. And I said, I'm in my 30s and I ate dinner after 6:30 last night. I'm pretty bloated right now. We're 2 for 2. The drug's incredible. What else does it do? And then she said, oh, and this version actually helps with headaches. And I go, give it to me! I took 2 Midols, and I have never, ever felt so good in my entire life. So now I just take Midol. I take it all the time. I'm on 4 right now, and I'm glowing, Daddy. I have an aura. Being married means I'm a team player now. Team player over here, team player. Thank you. So when my wife asked me to go on a ghost tour of a Revolutionary War fort, I said yes, even though that sounds like shit. would I want to do that? It's a terrible idea. Yeah, put me next to scare me people. You know who I'm talking about. Life's not horrifying enough for you. You gotta go, why go to a haunted house when you live in a haunted world? But fine. I went. I was dreading it. And it ended up being, after my wedding night, the second best night of my entire life. Because the tour guide was what is the term? A f***hole. Every time he mentioned something scary or supernatural, he immediately debunked it with a perfectly logical explanation as to what had really happened. So I meet the tour guide, we're there, it's very dark out, and this guy, he's got a three-cornered hat on, big ass, bushy mustache. This guy's like 6'5", 370, he's a mountain of a man, sword on his hip. If walruses had a navy, he would be an admiral. He'd be a full bird admiral in the walrus navy. It's the craziest sentence I've ever said. So we get to the first stop on the tour, and the guy goes, all right, everybody, gather round. Now, if you gaze across this fort, what do you see? Nothing but green grass everywhere. However, if you look at this 1 2-foot by 4-foot rectangle, you don't see any grass at all. And as a matter of fact, grass stopped growing here, legend says, right after the final execution was carried out here in this very location. It's almost as if the grass is too haunted to grow here. Or perhaps no grass grows here because it is the lowest point of the fort. And whenever it rains, all the water congregates in this 1 2-foot by 4-foot rectangle, rendering it impervious to seed. Is it a ghost? Or is it science? Who's to say? And people are confused. This is not what they signed up for. I'm thrilled. This is what I signed up for. I didn't know it yet, but it was. So the tour continues, and we get to the next stop on the tour, and the guy goes, all right, everybody, gather around, congregate. Now, I need everybody here to be quiet. What is that sound you hear? What is that sound? Listen up, what's that sound? That's right, silence. Can't hear nothing. However, multiple times over the year, we have our guests stay overnight here at the fort. We do a little camp out. And multiple times at 4 o'clock in the morning, our guests have heard a loud shrieking noise break out throughout the fort. A sound reminiscent of Mrs. Fredrickson when she found out that her husband, Colonel Fredrickson, the master of the fort, was beheaded by a cannonball in battle. And she was so upset, she hurled her body off the parapets of the fort, screaming all the way down until her body crashed into the ground, and she died. They say that noise was her ghost. Or perhaps that noise happens because we're in an area native to the northeastern red fox. And their mating season is late October, early November. Oh, I don't know, right around the time of this tour right now. And the female northeastern red fox's mating call is eerily similar to that of a bereaved woman. Is it a ghost? Is it a horny fox? Who's to say? And I have pissed my pants laughing. I'm with urine. People are furious. There was a lady on her phone looking up a refund for the tour that she was currently on. So we get to the final stop on the tour, and we go to what I believe was the old blacksmith shop. And this part was actually legitimately creepy. This part creeped me out. So we walk through this kind of a makeshift entrance, and there's like candle light, flickering on the walls. You hear the howling of the wind. It was sinister in there. And the tour guy goes, all right, everybody, circle up. Now, you might notice that we walk through a little makeshift entrance. That's because that main door, it's not stuck, but it would take many a strong man to open up that door. However, every once in a while when we're closing up for the night, we have multiple tour guides report that they see that door wide open. It's almost as if the ghost of the blacksmith, who literally cooked alive in this very location, swung that door open to get one more breath before he passes on to the other side. Perhaps it was his ghost that opened up that heavy door there, or perhaps that door is open because we're 1.5 miles away from the airport. And when those big old military planes take off, they create a sort of suction. A suction, I don't know, strong enough to open up that big old door over there? Who's to say? And this woman snaps. She goes, God damn it! Sir, how long have you been giving tours at this fort? 20 years. In your 2 decades giving tour at this fort, have you ever seen a ghost? Have you ever seen one ghost? My guy goes, Madam, I have noticed in my life that there is a direct correlation between one's level of education and whether or not they see ghosts.
I believe that popcorn is so good that it's the reason why we all have microwaves. Because they're not good at anything else. General Electric should be digging up Orville Redenbacher and kissing him on the lips every weekend. He sold every microwave in rotation today. If you think I'm lying, go look at a microwave. What does the top left button say? Yeah, it says popcorn, all right? It's above the numbers. Do you understand? They're like, don't do math, that's for burritos. We know why you're here. Microwave popcorn was incredible. It changed the game. And I think the reason why microwave popcorn was so successful is because some people in this audience may be old enough to remember what it was like to make popcorn at home before the microwave. Yeah, it was like cooking meth. It was insane. It was quite literally the most dangerous thing you could do on a residential property. Parents would be like, get the kids out of the kitchen, I'm making popcorn in here. Turn their faces away from the oil. By the way, I'm pretty sure our insurance doesn't cover this, so if anything goes wrong, I was baking a pie, a corn pie. You all saw me. But we were willing to do it because popcorn's incredible. Now, I know there are people that disagree with me. They say, Ivan, popcorn can't be number one because it gets stuck in your teeth. And yes, it does get stuck in your teeth, and that feels bad, but that bad feeling is offset by how good it feels when you finally get it out of there. So popcorn, back on top, number one. In fact, now I love that it gets stuck in your teeth because now you've just postponed a good feeling for later on. And who among us couldn't use that in these dark, uncertain times? Think about it. Eat a bowl of popcorn, you watch your favorite movie, everything's going great, but then the movie's too long. You stayed up too late, it's a work night. Oh no. I don't have time to brush my teeth. I gotta go right to bed. So you go to bed, you put your phone away, turn the light out. Now the only light left in the room is your digital clock. Why do you still have one? You don't know, but there it is. Floating in the dark, taunting you with how little sleep you're gonna get. If only you couldn't do math at this hour, but you can. Your brain keeps running the numbers and it keeps coming up short. And for some reason, this wakes you up more. I don't know why our minds do this. They're like, I am not gonna get enough sleep. How can I sleep at a time like this? I better stay as awake as possible and rapidly categorize all possible future failings. And as your thoughts begin to collide with the jagged edge of tomorrow's responsibilities, your tongue begins to explore the crevices of your teeth. And all of a sudden you make contact with that old familiar kernel skin lodged in your back molar. You forgot it was there. Now it's all you can focus on. And you wish for a second that your tongue had an ounce more dexterity. Oh, if only I could come at it from another angle, but you can't. All you can do is push feebly on it in the same direction you already tried 30 times prior. You think, I'll get my finger involved. Finger is the master of dexterity. Finger will help. Finger can't help. Finger can't even find it. It's hopelessly lost. Keep touching it with the end of your tongue. It's right there, finger. Next, you try to help your stupid finger by counting your own teeth. Like a lunatic. How many do I even have? Okay, it's 3 back. Go, finger, go! But this doesn't work. You have to abandon your dumb hand altogether. Just when you think all hope is lost, just when you're dangling over the event horizon of permanent despair, you reach down deep, give it one more push. What the hell, why not? But this time it's different. This time it moves a little bit. New hope springs eternal. You give it a couple more pushes and it flies free. Oh, do you spit it out? Not yet. First, it's time for a tiny celebration inside your mouth. First thing you do is put the kernel skin onto the end of your tongue like a little hat. And then you slide it in between your top and bottom front teeth and give it a bunch of tiny, tiny bites. As it disintegrates, you receive a rush of serotonin and dopamine that is better than drugs. What other snack does that? Oh, thank you. And thank you to everybody that did the tiny little bites along with me. I saw you. Now, my favorite thing about popcorn, though, definitely has to be there is no way anybody knew corn was gonna do that. Like, before there was popcorn, no one could have guessed that that was gonna happen. You could have taken the smartest person in the world, made them look at a cob of corn, and be like, hey, what do you think happens if you let this dry out and then heat it up? They certainly wouldn't have gone, I bet each kernel explodes only a little bit into a delicious soft snack you could put in a bowl. Nobody knew that. That would have been an insane guess, which means that popcorn must have been discovered by accident, and why don't we know that story? Where's that Netflix documentary? Why the hell did we all have to watch Tiger King? I want to know who found popcorn. I don't know how it went down. I have to imagine. I guess it was a family somewhere, procured some corn, cared for it inappropriately. The young son had to deliver the news. Papa. He's probably taller. Papa! The corn is too dry. We cannot eat it. This is a shame, son. Well, at least we won't freeze to death. Throw it on the fire. 1 to 3 minutes later. Oh, you're never gonna believe this. What's happening? No time to explain. Bring cheese, caramel. It doesn't matter. Yeah, but I do love all snacks almost as much as I love popcorn. What I don't love is healthy people coming for snacks, right? They came for our meals and we let them. And now they're coming for snacks, and I don't think that's appropriate, all right? Snacks are a reward for eating healthy the rest of the time. I eat 3 gross meals I do not enjoy, and then at 11 o'clock at night, 3 bags of chips and a bowl of ice cream. That's how we do it. Now they want us to be healthy, like you have healthy snacks on hand. I don't even know what that is. I had to ask. I was like, what? What are the healthy snacks I should have? And they told me it's nuts, Ivan. You forgot about nuts, didn't you? Probably because they're illegal in every elementary school. Did you know that if you're an adult, you can just go get nuts? It's not even that hard. You just need money. They're in the grocery store, I found out, next to the chips, which I think is a bad spot. Because then you are forced to see, by comparison to chips, how expensive nuts are. I had no idea. A bag of chips is like $2, and it's the size of my pillow. You know how much $2 worth of nuts is? 3.5 almonds. That's not enough for a snack. I remember the first time I saw the price on a bag of pistachios, and I remember it very clearly because it shattered my brain. I was like, I can't believe I've ever had one of these. I've never been in a Ferrari. How have I had a pistachio? These shouldn't be in my life. So I thought, if I'm gonna do this, if I'm gonna break the bank on these snack nuts, I wanna go all the way to the top. I want the biggest bang for my nut buck. I want the healthiest possible nuts. So I asked them what it was. I said, what's the healthiest one? I'll just start there. And they said, it's walnuts, Ivan. Everybody knows that. And I said, I don't think anybody knows that. They said, yeah, walnuts are incredible. They are so healthy, you can eat as many walnuts as you want. And I said, wow, that is great news, because I'm actually already doing that. 0, they're gross. Walnuts are disgusting. If you don't believe me, eat a walnut and tell me if it's gone bad. You don't know. No one does. Every single time I have eaten a raw walnut, I'm like, nope, those are off. Call the hospital. I just opened the bag. Really? Because I think I just ate a spider covered in wood. That's what that tasted like. Is that what it was a bag of? Like, you can tell walnuts are bad because they're never the main flavor of anything. You never see a product advertise flavor, walnut. Furniture only is when that happens. If it's in food, it's always like maple walnut. And let's be honest, maple is gonna be doing the heavy lifting. This happens too much in the food world, I think. They'll take a bad food and try to pair it up with something better to try to sneak it into our lives. I think it needs to stop. The most egregious example of this, of course, is cinnamon raisin. Why are those two still together? If I was Cinnamon's PR manager, I'd be like, break up with Raisin immediately. You're Cinnamon, kid, you're a star. Everyone loves you. You can make it to the top on your own. Stop being seen in public with Raisin. Like, all Raisin is doing is dragging down Cinnamon's image. People are afraid of Cinnamon things because they think Raisin might be there. Would you like a cinnamon bun? I don't know. Will Raisin be in attendance? That's the worst place to find a raisin, is in a cinnamon bun. When you least expect it, oh, it's terrible. Ruins your whole day. Because not only are they gross, they also do not cool down at the same speed as the rest of the bun. It's a safety concern. I don't understand how raisins manage to maintain the specific heat capacity of the center of a star. Anytime you take a cinnamon bun with raisins in it out of the oven or microwave, depending on your life choices, you can wait 20 minutes. I think it's ready to eat. No, it is not. There are 7 wrinkled balls of lava waiting for you. I will never understand how cinnamon and raisin got together in the first place. Yes, I'm still talking about this. Must have been a bad breakup. That's the only thing that makes sense. I've thought a lot about it. I think cinnamon got dumped by brown sugar, probably. Was wandering the streets one night, its standards impossibly low. I'll never find a more perfect pairing. And then some shriveled up creep came around the corner. Hey! I used to be a grape, you know? You wanna go ruin some cookies?
I don't get why dads are so obsessed with baseball. Like, they're so obsessed with playing catch with their son. They're just like, if they don't have a son, they go like, they're just out of it. They're like, I just want a son to play catch with. I just wish I had a son to play catch with. I need a son so I can throw the ball to him and he can throw the ball to me. Just so obsessed. Meanwhile, he has 5 daughters with 2 hands each, and he's like, no, it has to be a son. The same thing with sons. Like, if sons don't have dads, they're just like, just never had anyone to play catch with. Just threw the ball at the wall all day. My life sucks. I don't get that. It's not that hard to play catch. Like, my mom is so strong. She saved us from our dad. She saved us from a tornado. She always put food in our bellies and a roof over our heads. Like, you don't think my mom can toss the ball to me? So last time I was in Illinois, I bought her a glove, and we went to the backyard, and we played catch. Yeah. And guess what? She f***ing sucks. She throws like a girl.
If I didn't have like a great blueprint for being a dad from my dad, like my mom was the opposite. My mom was an amazing mom. Single parent. First of all, give it up for single parents, man. I don't know how you do it. Like, there's 2 of us, and my wife and I are in a constant murder-suicide pact with each other, just taking care of the children. My mom was a pediatric nurse, and so if she didn't have anybody to like watch me on the weekend, she would just like bring me to work with her. You know, it was a pediatric floor. There was a lot of kids there that I would make friends with, and then they would eventually die over and over and over and over and over again. That was my life. And all the other nurses were like psyched that Barbara's kid is here, so they'd always give me jobs to do. My main job was delivering blood to the lab. Which breaks my mind now. Like, now, in order to touch blood in a hospital, you have to be in like a spacesuit, you know? I was just like 6 years old, and they just handed me a hot bag of blood. And I was like, I'm on an adventure. I get to take the elevator. That was very exciting. And then I would just like walk around the basement looking for the lab and get lost eventually, and then just like knock on a door and hand someone the blood, and they'd be like, what is this? Who are you? I'm like, sorry, can't talk to strangers, and like run away. A lot of misdiagnoses at that hospital. And my mom was all about like unconditional love. Like, that was her whole thing, was unconditional love. And she would always read me this book called The Giving Tree. It's a beautiful book. I read it to my daughter now. If you have never read it, it's about a tree that gives everything for this little boy. Reading it as a parent, it reads a little different. Definitely reads like a piece of boy who murders a tree and then sits on it with his bone after it's dead. But it's a beautiful book. I tear up when I read it. And I wanted to talk about this in my special, and I wanted to show it to you guys. However, HarperCollins has refused me permission to use the images of the Giving Tree. But that's okay, guys, because I've got the sharing bush here. And when you read The Giving Tree, you're just like, you're touched. You're like, what gorgeous soul wrote such a beautiful book? And then you flip it around. There he is. Old Shel Silverstein himself. Again, HarperCollins refused me the rights to Shel Silverstein's image. So this is noted serial killer and cannibal Otis Toole. However, Shel Silverstein's author photo and this photo have a really similar vibe. With the only difference being Shel's photo is a bit more sexual. And it is this size. It's the full back cover. And you know, when this was written, Shel was to the publisher, hey, I want to have an author's photo. And they're like, Shel, it's a children's book. And he's like, I insist. They're like, okay, well, we can put like an inch by inch photo on the inside flap, And he's like, no. Full back cover. I need you guys to Google this actual photo because it is the cover of a book that should be called Shel Silverstein, Pirate. And at this point in the joke, I am pretty sure HarperCollins would have preferred to give me the rights than to have noted serial killer and cannibal Otis Toole. Be cool with your intellectual property, guys.